Stop scrolling. What you're about to watch isn't a rant. It's a quiet demolition. In the next few minutes, you'll see a camera-ready governor. Perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect soundbite, get dismantled piece by piece without a single raised voice. You'll learn the 3 pressure points Ana Kasparian presses to flip a
but absolutely earned.
Your car's gonna get broken into, okay? You're gonna get robbed. Using taxpayer money, funneling it to nonprofits so they can literally buy crack pipes and hand them out at Skid Row.
And
there's video evidence of that. Paying incredibly high taxes that go to what? So yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And honestly, just experiencing what I've seen on the ground in California has made me question a lot about
progressive hero into a case study in managerial spin. You'll see why receipts beat rhetoric 10 times out of 10, how a calm tone can hit harder than a viral clapback, and why once you spot the trick, the illusion never works again. If you care about where your taxes go, who really benefits from progress, and how to see through donor-friendly branding, you're in the right place. Buckle up. The setup looks like a coronation.
In 2014, voters in California overwhelmingly supported a ballot measure to support building more reservoirs in the state in order to bulk up our water infrastructure because we live in a drought-prone state. That passed in 2014. Funding was attached to it. You want to know how many reservoirs have been built since 2014? Zero. This state is an utter joke because of the people who are governing it. Gavin Newsom right now is at the top of that list.
Gavin Newsom glides in with the ease of a man who's been told he's next. Crisp suit, relaxed grin, the soft glow of inevitability. Then Ana sits down, no theatrics, no finger wagging, just the posture of someone who did the reading and is done
Burning.
This is what I was surprised about. I did not expect Donald Trump to flip 10 counties in California from blue to red. But I guess I shouldn't have been surprised about that either. Because when you look at the conditions that people are living in a Democrat-controlled state, well, yeah, you can understand why people are turning their backs on the Democratic Party. You can understand why people are frustrated at the corruption, at the loss of $24 billion that was allocated to help the homeless, when homelessness only exploded during that time, and that money is now unaccounted.
Pretending. She isn't hunting for a gotcha. She's laying out a pattern. Priorities versus press releases. Promises versus outcomes. The temperature drops on the first exchange. This isn't a debate. It's an audit. She starts where slogans go to die. Results. California voters funded water infrastructure years ago.
A President Newsom candidacy look like in a general election, not just pandering to the left?
Yeah, good question. He would sell out the American people to corporate interests, just like he did with PG&E, starting fires and destroying countless Californians' lives as a result of that. He bailed them out. He totally bailed them out. He has provided protection for them, even though they absolutely refused to update their century-year-old equipment, which everyone knew was going to lead to devastating
money, mandate, urgency. How many new reservoirs since then? 0. Not a rounding error. Not a we're almost there. 0. One number, and the room snaps into focus. If drought is chronic and the plan existed, why does the scoreboard still read nothing? If you can pose on a podium, you can pour concrete. So where is it? Then the streets. The ones people live on. The ones people avoid after dark. Homelessness budgets balloon. The crisis mushrooms. Checks get bigger. Outcomes get worse. Her voice doesn't spike. It narrows, like a scalpel. Where did the allocations land? Who got contracts? Why did the needle move the wrong way? The math is ugly, and it doesn't care about hashtags. Money in, misery out. Explain. She moves to the climate halo and punctures it. The speeches say urgency. The record says permits, delays, and kid glove treatment for utilities that failed while neighborhoods burned. She draws the line from corporate comfort to public risk, from donor smiles to families sifting through ash. It's the magician's reveal. Here's the wire. Here's the mirror. Here's the trapdoor. The second you see it, the spectacle stops sparkling. What makes the teardown brutal isn't volume, it's precision. She doesn't paint him as a villain. She calls him what the ledger suggests, a manager who talks like a visionary and governs like a brand consultant. She doesn't accuse him of hating the working class. She shows you the receipts where the working class pays the invoice while the press conference gets the applause. She doesn't shout hypocrisy. She holds up a mirror and lets the contradictions do the yelling. The calm is the kill shot. The internet felt that chill. Clips ricocheted not because she was loud, but because she was legible. Millions have lived the gap between speeches and sidewalks, between what's promised behind a podium and what festers under an overpass. When she says taxpayers are exhausted from paying more to get less, a million quiet nods answer back. When she says progressive should mean measurable relief, not better branding, the word finally regains weight. Here's the twist most politicians miss. People aren't waiting for a performer. They're waiting for an adult. Someone who says, build the housing. Now. Not 2 election cycles from now. Not a pilot with pretty signage. Shovels. Concrete. Keys. Someone who says, porta potties under bridges aren't policy. They're a confession of failure. Someone who refuses to let climate change become a get-out-of-accountability card while grid upgrades stall and utilities shrug. There's a moment where the mask of inevitability slips, the idea that Newsom is next because he photographs well and polls decent on cable panels. Ana traces the ambition: national surrogate tours, flawless bicoastal cameos, donor courtship choreographed to the week. Then she overlays daily California. Encampments, costs, crime anxieties, slipped timelines, absent outcomes. If this is the resume, what role is he applying for, and why would the promotion change the management style that produced this ledger? Then comes the part voters learn to spot the hard way: the shuffle. Bold talk before a bill, quiet edits after donors, values that arrive on time with the polling memo. Leadership isn't scheduling your convictions for maximum applause. It's holding them when applause is expensive. She never says that line outright, but she doesn't have to. The silence from the other side says it for her. And this is why the segment isn't just a roast, it's a manual. Bring receipts. Follow appropriations to outcomes. Don't accept "we tried when we built" was on the ballot language. Track who gets bailed out and who gets billed. Ask who profits when temporary delays ossify into permanent excuses. The message is simple. You don't need a flamethrower to expose a facade. You need a memory, a calculator, and the guts to say the quiet part plainly. If you've ever wondered why strongholds wobble, why counties flip, why once safe incumbents suddenly sweat through primaries, this is the anatomy. Not one scandal. Accumulated fatigue. Voters don't switch teams over a headline. They switch because the gap between promise and paycheck keeps widening. Ana doesn't tell you how to vote. She tells you to demand math, not mood boards, be by the time she's finished. The branding is charcoal. The wine-sipping savior aesthetic doesn't survive a spreadsheet. The green glow dims under the harsh bulb of neglected infrastructure. The soaring sermons on equity break on the granite question: where did the equity land? No bellowing. No broken furniture. Just a chain of specifics that forces the stomach drop of recognition. Here's what sticks after the clip ends. 1. Image gets you to the microphone. Results decide if you keep the room. 2. Progress isn't a press conference. It's a number moving in the right direction with names and addresses attached. 3. If a leader can't point to durable, visible gains, units built, grids hardened, neighborhoods measurably safer, then the speeches are costume jewelry, shiny on stage, worthless up close. And no, this isn't anti-Democrat or pro-Republican. It's anti-excuse. It's one standard for anyone with a pen and a budget. Did you do the thing you said you'd do with the money we gave you? If yes, show us. If no, spare us the montage and fix it. So when Gavin Newsom steps to the podium with that practiced half smile, this day will linger. The day a steady voice outperformed 1,000 ad buys. The day progressive stopped being a vibe and returned to being a verb. The day someone sat across from him, skipped the outrage theater, and presented a ledger. Not to humiliate for sport, but to insist on substance. From here on, watch differently. Watch how often the talking points veer into branding. Watch how timelines slide and budgets balloon while outcomes flatline. Watch who's protected when failures cascade. And the next time you hear "we're working on it," ask, where's the work? Blueprints, permits, start dates, deliverables. Because once you see the trick, applause stops being automatic. If you want more breakdowns like this, calm, receipt-driven, no spin, stick around. Hit follow so the next can't miss narrative doesn't miss you. Bring your skepticism, bring your spreadsheet, bring your appetite for results. Today's verdict didn't need to be shouted. Guilty of performative progressivism. Sentence pending. Deliver measurable outcomes. Or make room for someone who will.